Welcome, gentlemen and ladies. I hope that you're enjoying this current situation that we find ourselves in May 2020. You know what I'm talking about? The quarantine and all that stuff. But yeah, shout out to Bulgaria. As you can see, I'm no longer in the UK if you've been following me. So just wanted to quickly share something with you about something that I'm sure all of us are starting to realize on a deeper level, and that is about happiness and what do we actually need in order to be happy. And that some of the things that we thought that we needed, we can see how that was false. So for my case, I had a lot of plans, and I thought that in order to achieve my long-term vision, I had to be physically in the UK and in London. But now being forced to basically reduce all my expenses and moving here to my home country, I really saw that I don't really need those physical locations, and that was a false story that I was telling myself. So it was based on an illusion, and probably the same as you, I'm in a way living in an uncertain situation. Like I don't really know for 100% what's gonna happen in the next couple of months, but that's actually the exciting part. But I do know that I'm gonna reach my long-term vision, whatever it takes, no matter what's happening on the external world. But yeah, as I said, I wanted to discuss something about with you about what truly makes us happy. And let's take, for example, this is one type of person A, and this is another type of person. So the first person, person A, he always lives for the future, always says for the next month, for the next year, puts off his plans, and doesn't really fully enjoy the present moment. Whereas the second person is the complete opposite. He doesn't need anything to make him happy. Like literally, even if he is forced to be locked in his room for like 2 weeks or 2 months, he all that he needs is himself, his mind, his soul, his body. And me personally, I had to go through 2 weeks, so 14 days of that experience of not leaving my room almost completely due to legal stuff. And yeah, it made me, like, I'm grateful for that experience because it made me reflect much deeper what truly makes me happy and what do I actually want to create in the future. And now, but yeah, just the last 40 days have been very, very interesting, and we're living in an exciting time. Hope you're excited as well. And so yeah, the first person, he doesn't really know what he wants, but he thinks that he does, and that's a very tricky illusion. So for example, I was person A for a long time, and it made me go to study engineering in Coventry, something that I'm not passionate about at all. And it was based on me going through my childhood and people making unconscious suggestions. And with time, I thought that that was what I wanted, but it took me like almost 3 years to realize that that was the opposite. But anyway, the first person doesn't really know what he wants, and just as my example, he's living a lie basically. So it may be that he is attached to the idea, to the American dream, that you need to buy a car, you need to find someone that you get married to at a certain age. If you don't get married after before 30, you're a failure, and all that bullshit that society tells you and conditions you to do. And oh, you need to work at this certain job, that other job is for losers, this and that, like, you know what I'm talking about, those conditioned society bullshit. That's actually the reason that some people are unhappy, because they're listening to all these other stuff, that noise, and they're not actually listening to what their soul is telling them. And this second person, he's in tune with the universe, with himself, with his soul, with his higher self. And even if, as I said, if he's locked in a room, he doesn't have any TV and any entertainment, any movies, any drinking, any partying, he's still feeling amazing, he's appreciating life. So when we learn this on a much deeper level, so as I said, myself, the last 40 days, all these ideas that I had got completely shattered, and basically I'm no longer going to be probably living in the UK. I will still be going to London maybe for a month at a time, but I will definitely not be living there anymore. And as they say, the world is your oyster. So we'll see where I end up. Maybe we can go to Bali sooner than we thought. So the last 40 days I was reflecting a lot, and I'm still actually in the process of reflecting. I'm not at 100% there, but if you really think about this, you don't really need much to live an amazing life, to live an abundant life. And it made it click for me, because the cost of living, the standards of living here in Bulgaria compared to the UK, and especially in London, like, it's a completely different universe. Like, you can live here with 4 times less money than you would need in London, and in London you would still live a shittier life in terms of you would be more stuck in a city or a fewer locations, where here you can reach so much abundance with so little. And as you can see, I can make videos from places like this whenever I want, actually. So I'm still in the process of reflecting what my exact steps are gonna be for the next couple of weeks and months, but I'm still looking at my long-term vision, and I hope you're doing the same things, that you're not getting lost. I see a lot of people are being lost into the panic, into watching the news, and they get paralyzed, and they start waiting and waiting and waiting. And if you look at them for the last 40 days, they haven't done anything new, anything to grow, anything to evolve themselves. And it's easy to get into that trap. So this is encouragement for all of us. I'm also raising my level, I'm raising the game, the bar, and I'm going back to securing the best remote project I can work on, like the most amazing one possible. That's what I'm gonna be working on for the next couple of weeks. Then I have something else planned that I'm exploring, starting a new business. But for that, I need to save some capital so I can make that happen. And yeah, literally taking it day by day, going with the flow. And but yeah, it's been an amazing couple of weeks, to say the least. And also this person 2 compared to person A, let's say I had to do some things, letting go of some ideas, shedding weight, shedding my UK home, luggage, sorting all that, problems, issues, all those things. Person A would have lost himself into that and wouldn't have done anything else on the side, because he would be too stuck into those overthinking, fear, and overwhelm. And I tried, as I said, I'm not 100% there, but I didn't give in to the fear and the depression and all those things that some of the things I was going through was forcing me, was trying to pull me into that direction. But being in the present moment, you can just simply let it go and not reside in those emotions. So I'm curious, what is your experience? How are you going through this very interesting time? Are you finding more about yourself, about what makes you happy, about what illusions you were holding on before and that you see now that you don't actually need them? And yet, looking back, I can see how some of the things that I was attached to were actually holding me back, like they were slowing me down. And if it wasn't for this situation, I would have still be doing the same thing, being stuck in the same loop. And I bet that because of this, now I can exponentially increase my progress. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the next 12 months. But exciting times ahead. Grateful to experience this interesting times. And yeah, go with the flow and enjoy the present moment. Abundance, baby. Let's make 2020 the best year ever, despite anything that's happening outside of the world. Get busy, go mental, and enjoy life.